Hello everyone, it's Jamal Thomas. Welcome to the Progressive Soapbox. This one is going to be quick because it's getting late, and I have one more to do because I thought this was absolutely hilarious, so I wanted to do this one. Let's see if I can show it. Hillary Clinton's sex tape was made by Russian trolls. Now, when I first saw the story, I thought to myself, wait a minute, did they catch Hillary in compromising position? And, you know, the Russian trolls kind of got the video. I was curious about what they meant by it. I was, you know, how specific are they being when they're saying this? Reading it leaves slightly bad taste in your mouth. It's like taking medicine, and the medicine just leaves a bad taste in your mouth. Sex tape. I understand that woman may, you know, get her rocks off, because everybody gets their rocks off at some point, but I don't want to have that thought in my head. A Russian man who said he once worked as an internet troll claimed the nation's propaganda factory produced sex tape featuring Hillary Clinton lookalike and an African-American man, among other accusations. Why does it have to be an African-American man? Why? Why does it have to be a black man doing this? If they're doing this to create something to attack Hillary Clinton with, fair enough. If that's what you need to do with your life, fair enough. But that means that all of this is scripted, which means that the person who you choose, the boink, Hillary Clinton, in this case, was an African-American man. Why did you choose an African-American man? Why not just a regular guy? They're pushing at something. That's all I'm getting at. It's not random. It's not arbitrary. That being said, Hillary Clinton loves the black vote. I guess that's a poor joke. That's in poor taste. I'm sorry. During an interview with an independent Russian TV channel, the former troll Alan Bashekov said he worked at a Russian, now infamous internet research agency which uses social media to whip up discord and deepen political divides in the United States. The aim allegedly was to help Donald Trump defeat Clinton in last year's election. Bashveki, pronounced his name wrong, I'm sorry, pronounced it wrong, told TV Rain the atmosphere was mostly jovial when he worked at the agency as a college student between November 2014 and April 2015. He said each of the trolls tried to think up some of the wildest ways they could get their job done. He gave an interview while in Thailand and did want his face shown. Yeah, that's a typo. And didn't want his face shown out of fear of retribution. Oh, Newsweek, you have typos? Oh, boo on you, sir. I'm joking. Everybody fucks up. You know, there's this meme about the troll factory. People sitting in black caps and masks. Behind them, there's a photo of Putin and a Russian flag. They're so intense, Bashev said, according to Daily Beast. I don't know what happened on the day shift, but the night shift was bacchanal. We did the most ridiculous things we could think of. The first of the trolls to speak publicly, Bashekov said one of those ridiculous efforts was a fake video of a woman who looked like Hillary Clinton having sex with an African-American man. In fact, he said, it was so ridiculous that no one will believe it. Another troll video showed an African-American soldier shooting a copy of the Quran, Islam's holiest book, in a clear attempt to exploit social, religious, and racial divide across the United States. This is slightly comical to me. These guys were thinking up ways to attack one of the candidates, in this case Hillary Clinton. Now, they're making the case they wanted to help Donald Trump get elected. I would make the case they also wanted to create social divide in the United States. Fair enough. Countries play politics in this way. But what if they did put that sex tape out? Would Republicans have cared that the person looked nothing like Hillary Clinton? And would those Republicans have screamed at the top of their lungs, oh my God, she is getting boinked by this African-American man? Would they have been more inclined to believe it in the same way that Hillary Clinton supporters are more inclined to believe the stuff that's coming out about Trump in that dossier? That's an interesting question, right? That's an interesting question. I would almost wager that you would have a faction of people who have been perfectly willing to believe that there was a sex tape with Hillary Clinton, regardless of whether the person looked like Hillary Clinton or not. In the same way, you have a faction of people who are perfectly willing to believe that this dossier and the stuff coming out about Trump is perfectly true, regardless of the fact that it was paid for by the DNC and Hillary Clinton. Politics, man. The last part of the story I find interesting too. Twitter cited the United States intelligence community's assertion that both websites spread disinformation. Oh, up top. Facebook later announced it was hiring more than 1,000 employees to monitor ads going forward. Twitter said Thursday it would no longer allow ads from two Russian state online publications, RT and Sputnik International. Twitter cited U.S. international intelligence community's assertions that both websites spread disinformation similar to Russian trolls' activities. The beautiful part about this is Twitter cited U.S. intelligence community's assertions, not evidence, assertions. We assert this. How do you know it? And are you telling me that RT spreads more propaganda than the news networks that we have in our country? When they're launching a missile into another country, when Donald Trump fired that illegal missile in Syria, didn't have any constitutional justification to do so. He had no justification for even world governments. It was illegal. It was illegal by any standard of U.S. law. It was completely illegal. We weren't being attacked. We weren't under threat of being attacked. He just said, fuck it, I'm the president. I'm going to launch a missile. The news agencies didn't point out that this was illegal. They didn't point out that, hey, wait a minute. Well, how the fuck is the president launching a missile in this way? The president just has access to launch missiles whenever he wants? No, they said, this is the moment that Donald Trump becomes a president. This is the moment he looks presidential, firing an illegal missile strike. This is the moment where he looks like an American president. They fawned over it. They worshipped it. They were getting their jollies off and touching themselves inappropriately to the videos of this missile strike. But that's not propaganda. RT puts out propaganda. Don't get me wrong, RT does put out propaganda at times, but all news agencies put out propaganda. The idea that Twitter believes that we're no longer going to allow ads from RT. That's ridiculous. Yeah, that's ridiculous, man. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. RT is just a news network. RT has its propaganda arm. Don't get me wrong. There's some videos where you're like, okay, this is over the top. But oftentimes, they're just reporting news. Now, the news that RT is pushing is no more biased than the news that they're pushing here in the United States. Now, when I'm saying no more bias, I'm assuming that there is bias in the news in the United States, and assume in the same way that they're going to be biased in news from RT. Sometimes it's heavier than others. What they don't like is the criticism. They don't like the critique. Like, they don't like this idea of having this other news network that doesn't necessarily fall in line to the stories that the United States want to put out. RT gives a counter narrative. It gives a counter opinion. And that counter narrative oftentimes is damning. It's damning. So, Twitter is protecting the United States democracy by stopping RT. Good job, Twitter. Good job. Good fucking job. And I'm being immensely sarcastic. Alright. I will leave it at this. This one is not going to be long. All about butt sex with Jamal. What? 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 I don't know what Bob Ramirez was saying. Rob, Jamal imagines Hillary in a gag ball in leather pulling Benoit balls out of Hillary. You guys are nasty, man. You guys are nasty. Yeah, man, you guys are gross. You guys are nasty. You guys are nasty. Look, I am not beyond anybody getting their jollies off. Have at it. I am as lib can be on this point. I am the person who fully believes in this idea of free love. I fully believe that it's culturally having this thing where people are tied and chained to one person for the entirety of their lives. I think culturally that's somewhat of a problem. We do it. We force ourselves into that culture. But whatever. We force ourselves into it. You could have a society where that wasn't that way, where people just gave free love and all this other stuff. But that's not our society. That being said, whoever you're with, how many ever people you're with, whatever you guys decide to do, you as a couple, you as a wife, spouse, whatever, you can create whatever space that you yourselves you want to create. The normality is purely between you two. If you want to have your wife put a ball gag on as soon as she gets to the house, that's between you two. If the husband needs to put a ball gag on as soon as he gets to the house, that's between you two. Have at it. Have at it. Have fun. You're adults. Play safe. Have fun. Alright, I'm going to kill this. 10 minutes. It was quick. I said it was going to be quick. The link is in the bottom. And I have one more to do on Catalonia. And then I'm going to bed. Alright, guys. Good night.